Edge kids! I am so excited to be back in our kids' room this week. We miss you guys so much, and I can't wait till we can all be back in here together. Today, we are starting a brand new theme called Focus. We're gonna be taking a closer look on faith and what that means. Today, we're gonna be talking about how you can know Jesus even though you have never seen him. So are you guys ready to take a closer look? Are you? I can't hear you. I've said it every time, you have to be louder. All right, well, let's go. But first, we're gonna get up and dance. See you guys next week.
This is my faith, this is my focus, all of my days. I know where my hope is, I'll live it loud, I'll shout the chorus, because I know, oh, you're always for us. And even when it's hard for me to see, I will trust in you, I will believe. And even when it's hard for me to see, I will trust in you, I will believe. And keep on looking to you for where I'm going, knowing you go there too. I'll keep on looking to you. I fix my eyes on you. You are my only focus. You are my only focus. You are my only focus. I fix my eyes on you. This is my faith, this is my focus, all of my days. I know where my hope is, I'll live it loud, I shout the chorus, because I know, oh, you're always for us. And even when it's hard for me to see, I will trust in you, I will believe. And even when it's hard for me to see, I will trust in you, I will believe. And keep on looking to you for where I'm going, knowing you go there too. I'll keep on looking to you. I'll fix my eyes on you. You are my only focus. You are my only focus. You are my only focus. I fix my eyes on you, oh yeah. Woo! You ready? Come on, let's go. Hands in the air, I know you're there, anywhere, oh. I fix my eyes on you. Hands in the air, I know you're there, anywhere. I fix my eyes on you. And keep on looking to you for where I'm going, knowing you go there too. I'll keep on looking to you. I'll fix my eyes on you. You are my only, you are my only focus. You are my only focus. I fix my eyes on you.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Hebrews, chapters 11 and 12.
Gotta have a little faith. Keep the faith. Take a leap of faith. You know, a lot of people toss around the word faith lately. We say you can break the faith, or just take it all on blind faith. But true faith isn't blind at all. It's much more than just an inspirational word. True faith has to do with believing in all the things you can't see because you start with what you can see. Now, we can't see God with our physical eyes, but we can see the stories of people who came before us. They lived in a broken world like we do, but they chose to follow God. They chose to trust His promise that one day He would send a rescuer that would make everything right again. The writer of Hebrews in the New Testament tells us about some of these men and women in God's story. People like Noah, people like Abraham.
Abraham.
When God called Abraham, he was already getting old. He and his wife Sarah didn't have kids.
Leave your country and your people. Leave your father's family. Go to the land I will show you. All nations on earth will be blessed because of you.
God was planning on sending his rescuer as one of Abraham's great, etc. grandchildren. But still, even though Abraham had God's promise, he still couldn't see the one God was sending. Still, Abraham went on a wild adventure, following God's call. And even his descendants, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph, all chose faith in God. Moses, too, was called by God from the fiery heart of a burning bush. Even though he was raised by Pharaoh's daughter, he chose to stand with his own people and face Pharaoh's anger to win freedom. We read about it like this in the book of Hebrews.
Moses suffered shame because of Christ. He thought it of great value.
See, when you check out Hebrews, you discover this huge list of people who followed God by faith, so many that the writer just stops trying to list all of them. Oh, but we can't forget Israel's most important king, David.
Get up and anoint him. This is the one.
Even though God had promised David would be king, though, David spent years on the run from King Saul, fearing for his life. Still, he chose to trust God.
The Lord is my shepherd. He gives me everything I need.
Now, none of these people in the Old Testament could see with their eyes how God was going to save his people, but they could see how he was working in their lives, how their needs were being met. So they chose to believe in his greater plan. They chose faith.
Faith is being sure of what we hope for. It is being sure of what we do not see. That is what the people of long ago were praised for.
Now, here's where the story turns. In Hebrews, we discover that none of those people in the Old Testament received what God had promised here on earth.
That's because God had planned something better for us, so they would only be made perfect together with us.
God's plan includes all of us from the very beginning of creation. So at just the right moment, at the perfect point in time, God sent his rescuer, the hero, his very own son, Jesus. Jesus showed us how to live. He showed us what God was like, and he told us the most important thing.
If you love one another, everyone will know you are my disciples.
Love God, love others. It's the heart of the whole story. But then, Jesus was killed, and his friends thought the story was finished. Period. Dot. The end. Until God raised him back to life. Jesus has defeated death, and those who follow him can live with him forever. But how do you follow someone you can't see? Well, that brings us back to faith.
Let us keep looking to Jesus. He is the one who started this journey of faith, and he is the one who completes this journey of faith. He paid no attention to the shame of the cross. He suffered there because of the joy he was looking forward to. So think about him. Then you won't lose hope.
The early believers, Peter and John and other followers of Jesus, had seen him teach and heal. They saw him after God raised him to life. But after Jesus returned to heaven, the believers continued to live by faith.
We have to speak about the things we've seen and heard.
Because of what the new Christians in the early church had seen, they could believe in what they could not yet see, the end of the story, where God makes everything right. They kept the faith, and because they did, we can choose faith too.
What is up, Edge Kids? Do you notice something different about this video? I know you do. We are back in the Edge Kids room. I'm super excited. I hope you're just as excited as I am. And as you noticed in my background, we're going to be learning about focus. Are you excited? Because I am. I'm focused and excited about this. So, there are so many people who have had faith in God all the way back to the beginning of creation. They couldn't always see the ending, and many of them didn't live to see Jesus come to earth. But still, they trusted God along the way. They believed that God had a bigger plan. When God sent Jesus, it became clear that Jesus was the Savior God had promised all along. Faith is trusting what you can't see because of what you can see. It's like we read in our memory verse. Faith is being sure of what we hope for. It is being sure of what we do not see. You can have faith in Jesus even though you can't see him. When you know how he has worked in others' lives, you can see how he can work in your life too. If you've never put your faith in Jesus and you'd like to talk to your mom or your dad about it, myself, Katie, or Michaela would be happy to answer your questions too. You can know Jesus even though you've never seen him. Say that with me. You can know Jesus even though you've never seen him. No matter how you might feel about putting your faith in Jesus, it's always good to talk to others who trust in him. You can also read the Bible and learn the stories of the people who came before you who had faith in him. All of these things will help your own faith grow. And I just want to encourage you guys, because I know just as my son asked me in such a vulnerable state in our car, Dad, you talk to God, but I don't feel him, or sometimes I don't see him or feel him. And I said, sometimes it's like the wind. We can't see the wind, but you feel the wind move. And God is moving in us just like the wind. And I love you guys, and I want you to trust that and know, no matter what, God loves you and he is with you. I miss you guys. I can't wait to be in this room, hugging you, running around. It's going to be so much fun. Have a blessed day.
Hey Edge Kids, good morning. Thanks for joining us. As you can see, I'm back in our classroom. I'm super excited. I have an awesome activity to share with you guys today. We're going to be making some slime. So to do that today, all you need is some glue. I'm going to use Elmer's glue, and then some contact solution and some baking soda. And then if you want for fun, you can get some food coloring and dye it. So I'm going to do that for fun to make it some different colors. And then as well as those things, you need a bowl to make it in, and then some Ziploc baggies when we're all done making it to store it in. So let's get started. First, I'm going to put my baking soda in. You need about a half a teaspoon. I'm kind of just gonna eyeball it. And then you need your glue. So you need about 6 ounces of glue. Again, I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it, and once we get all the ingredients in there, I'm gonna mix it up and add some stuff if it's not quite right yet. And then you need 1.5 tablespoons of contact solution. So again, I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. You guys can measure it out if you would like. Once you get all that in, mix it together, get all the ingredients nice and mixed up, and you're gonna wanna have it a really nice consistency. And if it's a little on the sticky side, you're gonna wanna add more contact solution, because that is what makes it more slimy. See how mine is still very, very sticky? I think we're gonna need to add some more contact solution. So just kind of eyeball it and add it, And keep stirring until, there we go, until it comes off the sides of the bowl and it comes off your hand nice and easily. I think we need some more. It's still pretty sticky. Nice. All right, we're getting there. It's almost ready. And then I'm going to add the food coloring to make it some fun colors. What colors do you guys think I should make? Yeah? I like blue. Blue is my favorite. So I think I'm gonna make mine blue. And then I'm just gonna peel off the extras on my hands because it's a little sticky. And there we go. See how it's a lot better? It's not really sticking to my hands anymore. And you can kind of play with it and squish it in your hands now. And it's ready to add the food coloring. Like I said, I'm gonna add blue to mine. And depending on how blue you want it, you can add a lot or just a little. I added some so it kind of looks a little like wavy and watery in mine. It's pretty awesome. So that's what mine looks like. So now to store it, you're gonna wanna put it in a Ziploc bag. And then you can just play with it. And if it kind of dries out a little bit and maybe sticks to your bag, you're gonna wanna add some more contact solution in there and kind of just shake it up in your bag a little bit, and then it'll probably be ready to go. So that's our activity for today, guys. I am so excited that you guys joined us and can't wait till you all get to be back in the classroom with me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.